This is your Chargers linebacker, Deion Henley, and you're tuning in with Chargers Unleashed.
Welcome to Chargers Unleashed live on a Victory Monday. You can tell it's just me, Dan Wolkenstein, here from the LAFB Network. Jake Hefner is experiencing some minor technical difficulties, so he's going to be joining us here in a second. Hopefully, fingers crossed, when he gets here. Chargers 7-3. How are we feeling? Beat the brakes off the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are live here on Chargers Unleashed. We got tons of folks here in the chat. You know the drill. Questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, bring them in. We'll do our best to sprinkle them in throughout the episode. We have a Chargers Unleashed hotline that was going crazy after this Chargers victory, 25-10. What a statement. What a win. Chargers fans, how are we feeling? I mean, what? Who was that showed up? I personally, while we wait for Jake Hefner to fill in here, was on a plane, 35,000 feet in the air, watching this unfold. Squealing, yelling, fist bumping, you name it. Trying to contain myself, but I could not. Because this Chargers team absolutely cooked at SoFi. Turned all those Pittsburgh Steelers fans around. Sent them to the parking lots. Thanks for coming. I got to say, I tweeted this earlier. That's probably, in my opinion, given all that was at stake, given their current predicament, if you will, that was the signature win of the Jim Harbaugh era. Jesse Minter's defense absolutely balled out. They reminded all of us why Jesse Minter will be a future head coach. Justin Herbert threw the fire and flames almost literally. No idea how he survived that game, especially the first half. Found a way. Kamani Vidal, unsung hero of this game, of this season so far. What can you say? What can you say? This Chargers team just did that. So, Chargers hotline is going crazy. Okay, 323-902-7586. Turn us up, Chargers fans, as we go through here. Tons to go through. We'll get through a recap of the game. We'll get through some of the big storylines. We'll get to some of your questions, obviously. But my goodness, what a day. What a day. So let's just get right into these hotlines as we go through. First voicemail here on Chargers Unleashed hotline. First one, in no particular order. I cannot wait to hear these.
Dan, Jake, happy Victory Monday. This is Thomas here. What a game. Had to be quiet at work watching this game. Oh, what a game. Let's enjoy this victory. Bulls up, baby.
I'm not going to lie. That was pretty tame. Starting a Victory Monday off pretty vanilla. Okay, let's see what we got next.
I woke up this morning, and what's on my iPad?
Oh, I can't do this one yet. I got to wait for Jake to get in here before I can get this one. Oh, can't do that one yet. Hold the phones. Bob from Boston. Online too.
Let's go. What a win, guys. Hell yeah. Great moments all around. Great all-team performance, special teams. Finally, special teams steps up, does something good. But let's be honest. Let's be real with everyone.
Let's be honest. Let's be real. What we thinking, huh? What we thinking? What's he going to say?
The best moments of the night, was when the camera zoomed in on Mike Tomlin's face with that just irritated, angry look every time we did something good. That was a good moment. Fuck yeah, let's keep moving it. By the way, Dan, I got a bone to pick with you, and I'm...
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're 5 minutes in. I'm already getting flamed. Here we go. Oh, God. I'm scared.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. We need the instant reactions back, mister.
Wait, hold on. There was an instant reaction from 35,000 feet in the air that I posted on YouTube. I'm doing my best over here, okay? I'm really trying. I was literally in the air at the airport driving home. I didn't get home until like 11:30 last night. I'm trying my best. As is Jake right now. Jake is hanging on by a thread behind the scenes here. We'll see if he can make it in here.
We need to get our feelings out night of. Bring them back. Let's move on to Jacksonville. Let's go into the bye. 8-3. Potentially in first place of the AFC West.
Think about that for a sec. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. The Chargers are 1 week away from possibly being the 2 seed. And if Indy doesn't win that game in overtime this week, they're a game away from the 1 seed. Literally. With all of the crap that this Chargers team has gone through, they are in position to be the 2 seed next week. James Wagner, friend of the show. Bolt Up Nation no longer broke down in West Virginia, continuing to love life in this episode of being in the Bolt Fan Nation. That grit winning is contagious. The atmosphere is what I want to be a part of. Oh. Butters ID. Y'all should peep my prediction from last live stream in the comments. 5 points away from a perfect score prediction plus flawless other prediction. Good for you. Good for you. Chargers fan, Findon's Irish Pub in Chi-Town. Oh, here we go. Athir says, I'm not a real fan. Oh, no. I'm sure we're going to hear that. He sent a voicemail. Boy. This is going to be tough. Man. What a game. Chargers go into this one hobbling, man. They are hobbling. Their offensive line, oh, God, in shambles. And we all saw that picture as they went through the starting lineups. They posted all the PFF rankings of all the Chargers linemen. They were all like 35 or 35 of 38 or worse, except maybe I think it was Zion. That's the worst offensive line in the NFL, hands down. And I don't even like smiling about that, but that's just the facts. And I knew it. You knew it. Steelers fans knew it. That defensive front damn well knew it. And man, they were hunting early. And it looked kind of sloppy at the beginning, right? Both of these teams are it's like a slugfest, kind of weird. Special teams, a little shaky at the top. Then Khalil Mack. How hungry am I? I'll show you. Gets the safety to cut it to 1. 3-2. Who saw that coming? 3-2 turns into 5-3 after the 59-yard field goal. And then what was probably the most important point in this entire football game was that we talk about the middle 8 all the time. That touchdown at the end of the first half. Ladd McConkey just putting dudes on skates. Justin Herbert absolutely putting the offensive line, the offense on his back. It's amazing he got out of that thing alive. Ladham Conkey gets in for the touchdown. Chargers go up 12-3 at the half, 2.2 possession lead with the ball to start the second half. And that defense was absolutely dominating. Absolutely dominating. And I'll be honest, the Steelers offense that wasn't the group that scared me. And we said it in the preview show. I trust Jesse Minter and company to dial up for that Pittsburgh Steelers offense. What I did not expect was for Justin Herbert to come out of that game, for the most part, unscathed and able to execute enough to put in a few touchdown scoring drives. A lot easier when you've got 59-yard field goals going in, when your defense brings you turnover after turnover, defense scoring points for you. After that first few series of special teams woes, they turned it around. Turnover on special teams, massive punts. But I did not expect Greg Roman to adjust like we saw. People in the comments. Shout out to Greg Roman, by the way, for the play calling, trying to protect Herbert somewhat. Yeah, early on, I didn't see it. Early on, absolutely not protecting Justin. He was getting absolutely smoked. I think I saw Daniel Popper note 42% of his dropbacks were pressured. What? Absolutely insane. That J.K. Scott knuckleball kick was insane, says K-Mist R1. Absolutely. That was sick. They talked about it live on the broadcast. For a professional punt returner to barely get a hand on that, I don't know what the hell happened. But shout out to J.K. Scott. Shout out to J.K. Scott. Let's get some of these comments real quick. Athir with a 99-cent donation. 99 cent, dang. And then follows it up with, Dan, I don't not love you anymore. And I don't know if that's a double negative or triple negative. But that hurts. That hurts. Before we get to the weeds here, let's get some of the other voicemails. Next one.
Yeah! We smoking on Steelers packs.
We smoking on Steelers packs. Turn me up. Let's keep it rolling.
They tried to come into our trap, and guess what? Get the fuck out. And great game, stellar game. What a great performance by all accounts. 2 great ones. Come on, holding it down. Lad, he's just so stressful, man. Ronde got hurt. Ronde got together again. That sucks. He did it. He broke the record. Now, frankly, he had to Mike Evans it, but who gives a fuck? Anyway, off to next week. 7-3, chasing behind Denver. It's awesome. What a great day. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that felt good. That felt real good. That defensive front, though, man. Odafe Owe, Thule, Bud Dupree, Khalil Mack. Take a bow. Take a bow. I'm watching this game unfold, and given the circumstances, and I talked about it on the preview show a couple days ago. You beat the Vikings. Nope, doesn't matter. That was Carson Wentz. Asterisk. You beat the Titans. Again, down everybody. Whatever. That's the Titans. You're 6-3, going up against the Steelers team with a haul of a schedule remaining. You lose that game, finding 4 wins is hard to do with the remaining schedule. I think 10's the magic number. Said it since the beginning. You go down 6-4, and you've got Jacksonville, Philly, Houston, Kansas City, Denver, Dallas, the Raiders. Find me 4 of those games that you'd be confident in before this, what we just saw, right? Like just before that. And honestly, this was the type of game, I go back to Chargers get 3-game win streak, beat the brakes off the AFC West, start the season. Here comes the Giants. 4-0 would be insane. Stinker. Letdown. For many reasons, So once again, opportunity. You're getting a little bit of a ride here. Prime time, statement opportunity. Under the lights, Justin Herbert. Everything stacked against you. Opposing fans flood the stadium. Your offensive line's in shambles. Your top 3 running backs are nowhere to be found. You got an offensive coordinator that seems to just be hell-bent on getting Justin injured at this point. Trevor Penning's not playing. Your tight end one going into the season isn't there. Going up against a Steelers front that absolutely wrecks shop. Wrecks shop. You win that one. That's a statement. 7-3. Not only do you get to 7-3, I think it goes 6-1 in the AFC. Second best schedule in the AFC. Tiebreaker goes to the Colts. And you put a statement that you can go up against a team like Pittsburgh and beat them at their own game. Beat them at what Jim Harbaugh wants to become, what is becoming for this Chargers team. That's the greatest win I've seen Jim Harbaugh get as a Chargers head coach. Yes, week 1 was huge, getting that monkey off your back, beating Kansas City. 1-0. Cool. Right? Huge. But they were, other than Rashawn Slater, they were all there. This win, down those guys, in that atmosphere, in that spot, with the history of what we've seen against Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf and the tight ends and that front. The this Chargers team doesn't win those games. Go back to every Chargers game since the Harbaugh era. Hell, since the Harbaugh era, just to start. How many of those games do they win against dominant defensive fronts? Show me the last one they won. Now you can point to Denver, right? Again, healthy-ish, aside from Rashawn. You point to Kansas City, healthy-ish. That Denver one, woo! But to go 7-3 and win that type of game. And you saw Jim Harbaugh talk about how huge this type of win was and how sweet this victory felt for him because of the style in which he got it, right? This Chargers defense balled out. They out physicaled them. They brought grit, determination. They brought adjustments. Kamani Vidal, of all people, 25 carries, 95 yards and a touchdown. Justin Herbert getting some big rushes. The offensive line is in run fits specifically. The offensive line was better than advertised. Can't say the same about their pass protection. Awful. And yet, Justin Herbert still found a way. Again, I have not seen a Chargers team win that style of game in years. And it would have been awesome to see like Denver somehow lose. Folks in the chat talking about how they always get lucky in these games so far this year. Yeah, you're right. The Colts probably should have lost that game. But that Jacksonville loss was massive for this Chargers team. They're like 2 games up right now. And you think about the trade deadline, right? They go get Trevor Penning. Look at the other teams the Chargers have remaining on their schedule. A lot of them got better. That Cowboys defense got better at the trade deadline. That Colts team got better. Sauce Gardner. Philly got better. Bringing edge rusher from Miami. Jacksonville got better. Oh, they just lost. Jacoby Myers. So with the tough schedule already got tougher at the trade deadline. That's how important this one was. And I guess I'll take the L a little bit here. I wasn't necessarily confident in this game. I don't know how anybody can be confident in this game, considering what we have seen so far this season. And then in comes Jesse Minter and company. Don't do too much. Don't do too little. Just do your job. Stay disciplined. Don't let them muddy the game. Don't let them try to get these stupid penalties on. Like, don't. Play sound football. Keep the ball in your hands. No turnovers on your side. Justin got lucky on a couple. But hey, that's what it takes to win in the NFL. Win the turnover margin. Be efficient. Protect Justin. Hope for a run game. You should be okay. Let Justin be Superman at times, but don't make him be Superman for the entire game. And that's what happened. And they were able to scheme around that defensive front for Pittsburgh because A, Greg Roman, B, that touchdown at the end of the first half. That was so invaluable for this Chargers team. It felt like pretty early this Chargers defense wasn't going to give up many touchdowns, if any. In fact, the only one they got was in garbage time when it didn't matter. They're just playing prevent defense. The defense just came out and balled all night long. Relentless from start to finish. It was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Folks are talking, we all weren't confident. For the most part, I'd probably say 80% were probably not confident at all. Probably not. For good reason, too. Right? Jake, if you hear this, I think you're coming in. Jake, are you there? Can you see us? I see you. I hear you. Folks. Oh, I think I see him. Oh, we're close. Now his microphone isn't working. Oh, no. Bad man. We can hear him.
I don't know if the internal mic is working on this fucking computer.
We hear you. We hear you. Hey!
There is no microphone. If the audio sounds like hell, obviously the camera angle is different. It chooses a great time right before the live show for everything to fully shut down on Jake Hefner Happy Brisket Victory Monday to me. What the hell are we talking about?
Jake, welcome to Charge Unleashed, my friend. How are we? How are you feeling?
I was better 30 minutes ago, Wolkenstein.
I'm so sorry. Terry, yay! We see you, Jake, and we hear you. You got the heart emojis. You're back.
I am literally, this is unplugged. I have no idea how the audio is coming out on your guys' end, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. I apologize for being late. I know Dan has probably gone through a slew of comments and voicemails thus far. Whatever it is we need to get into, let's talk about it. Chargers with a hell of a victory. Sunday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defense showed up when you needed it most.
Jake, we've gone through some. What we have not gone through are most of the voicemails. What we have not gone through is the record-breaking performance by the one Keenan Allen.
Let's talk about it.
But before we talk about that, I want to give you the floor here for a sec because they've got to see my ugly mug and hear my ugly voice. Give us your soapbox moment here for a sec about this Chargers victory and what it means and what you saw from that game.
It didn't start off in the best way, especially offensively. It was a sloppy game for both teams throughout a lot of it. The offensive line performed specifically, I think, how we figured it was going to perform. You put Austin Deculus back in there. He had a couple of penalties, gave up a couple of pressures. Obviously, Justin Herbert was getting hit in a lot of different ways that was very questionable, that there was no yellow on the field for some of those hits, namely the hip drop tackle on him. And then the other one that was very low, that Jim Harbaugh was not happy about that one at all. But it was a gritty, tough performance. And whether it's this game or any game that you've previously played against the Steelers, that's the type of game that it's going to be. I expected it to be a low scoring. I predicted that they were going to win 20-17 by way of a Cameron Dicker field goal to finish it. But at the time when you really needed your defense to step up, and I had tweeted this earlier, in the 4 games that the Chargers went on from weeks 4 through 7, they went 1-3 in that string of games. Their defense, which did not look like the Jesse Minter defense of old, obviously players returning made a huge jump in that. But through that 4-week stretch, your defense allowed 28.25 points. In the last 3 weeks, obviously with a Dafe acquisition, Khalil Mack returning, some other guys returning on the defense, namely Deshaun Hand last night. In the last 3 weeks, your defense has only given up 8.6 points per game. And for a Pittsburgh Steelers team that averages just over 25 points a game, that was a hell of a game plan by Jesse Minter. And the fact, Dan, that he did not even blitz throughout the duration of this game, the fact that the Chargers were getting home with guys just on the line, you ended up sacking Aaron Rodgers 3 times, forcing him into 2 turnovers. You had him rattled throughout a duration of the game. He just was not in connection with his receivers. And you got to tip your hat to, obviously, some of the younger guys in R.J. Mickens with his performance, Nico Reed with a fantastic pass breakup down the field on Cal Austin. It was just a terrific performance all the way around from a defensive standpoint. Everybody was locked in. You didn't give up any of the big penalties. You won the turnover battle this time around. It was a big performance, and that allowed your offense to get a few of those shots that they needed. And you get him enough opportunities, Justin Herbert is going to make you pay. And sure enough, with him, with the lad, with a ridiculous placement in the football and that catch for the long run that obviously set the Chargers up to pack on more points, it was just a phenomenal job. And Kamani Vidal stepped up when you needed him to step up for a run game that we didn't even really talk about during the game preview because we weren't sure how that was going to go, given what we saw the week before against the Tennessee Titans. So you really didn't think that there was going to be much of a run game. And sure enough, Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman's mantra, just keep chipping away at the run game. And for Kamani Vidal, 95 yards, rushing yards and a touchdown. It was a great, gritty performance by some of the unsung heroes on offense. Great job.
Turn us up, man. Chargers win 25-10. Let's get some of the voicemails, Jake. I got one, and I had to pause it immediately because there's no way in hell I can have this play without you being here.
Why do I have a feeling I know who you saved for me?
I don't know if you do.
I woke up this morning and what's on my iPad? Dan
I had two choices. It was either a Theo or Bob from Boston. I knew I was getting one right.
Whoa, what were the balloons that just came by?
I don't know what that was.
What's going on here?
I woke up this morning and what's on my iPad? Dan freaking Wolkenstein. All googly-eyed. The Chargers won. You said, who
Oh, God, here we go.
saw this one coming? Well, Dan, not Chicken Little Dan Wolkenstein. It was that manscaping, black bean soup eating, sage of San Diego, Jake Hefner. That's who. Bow down to Jake, Dan. Bow down. I keep telling you people.
How much did you pay this guy? How much did you pay him?
I'm just glad you saved this voicemail for me.
A quarterback, a great coach, a great GM, and we have a chance. All you want is a chance every year. Enjoy the roller coaster, San Diego. This is fun stuff.
San Diego, Greater Southern California. Sure. Look, I owned it. But, I mean, how can you blame me? Who the hell is confident that's not just like taking hopium straight to the vein going into this game? I'm sorry.
Was that it from Bob from Boston?
That was it.
He's gonna call, rip on Dan Wolkenstein for 10 seconds and go
An
out.
Ghost. Yes, apparently.
Wow. I even took the black bean soup and Manscaped comments as a compliment this time around. So hey, I got my win. That was a great call from Bob from Boston. Again, remember, I told you during the preview show, while I did take the Chargers to win, I wouldn't have blamed anybody who came with the idea of the Chargers losing that game, given everything that we had seen the week prior, given the fact that you were going up against a very impressive front in the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they got theirs throughout this game. They did. And your offensive line struggled at times. It did. And when you watch what took place just a week prior against the Tennessee Titans that didn't have Jeffrey Simmons, that didn't have Arden Key, you allowed Justin Herbert to get sacked 6 times, hit another 7. I mean, it was a rough go in Tennessee just from the offensive line standpoint. You couldn't run the ball last week, but credit where credit is due. Mekhi Becton played the entirety of the game. When you needed big-time plays, specifically one from Zion when he pulled, you got it done. It wasn't easy by any means. It was one of the worst offensive outputs from the Chargers that you've seen all season and probably in the last couple of years, just in terms of their efficiency. When especially this year, they've been extremely efficient offensively. It was not an easy road. So I don't blame anybody who honestly came into this game with that type of mentality. But look at what you've gained now that you've won. The playoff odds for that game were huge for both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers, depending on who was going to either win or lose that game. And when it's in this period of time right now, when you have Jacksonville next week, you have a much-needed bye week in week 12, and then the Raiders after that, that last 5-game stretch, I keep talking about it, it's going to be a nasty run to the finish line. And so when you have these opportunities to string together these type of wins right now, you've got to do it.
You mentioned it. Unsung heroes. That's going to be a topic here in a second. But Jake, I know we've gone you were gone for a hot minute, but
yeah, I've only been here for 14 minutes.
Yeah, we've gotten 35 minutes, and I've not talked about the record-breaking performance of the Slayer himself, the greatest receiver in Chargers history, in my opinion, and that's including Lance Allworth. Keenan Allen, the all-time receptions leader for the Los Angeles Chargers. Take a bow. Salute to you, Keenan. Yes, Ersky, all the memes, whatever you want. And honestly, I love the fact that they just went and gave him the easiest reception in his career.
I don't know what's better, the fact that he broke the franchise receiving record, or the story behind it. The fact
that
Keenan goes to Jim Harbaugh and has the idea for the quick pitch play that technically counts as a reception, even though it's kind of like an end around reverse. But that pitch counts as a reception, whichever way you can get it. And I was waiting for it all night as well. It's like I knew he got that one. I knew he tied it. And then as we're kind of getting closer and closer to the end of the game, I'm like, okay, well, all we're going to do is just run out the clock. And then it kind of felt a little bit reminiscent to me of the Mike Evans moment in Tampa Bay last year when he got the record. And it was just for, like, doesn't matter. It's not going to impact the game, but we're going to find a way to get the ball in Keenan's hand so that he could break this at SoFi. And that was just such a cool story and how everything ended up coming around. And for him to take those few moments just to celebrate with everybody on the team on the sideline and obviously do it in Los Angeles, it's just such a cool moment for him. His return to Los Angeles and the Chargers franchise has been such a welcome for not only himself, for Ladd, for a lot of the young guys in that room. But you see how all of the vets it kind of makes them feel like they're kids again, specifically Derwin James.
Oh, yeah.
Made him feel like go back to 2018 during his rookie year and how Keenan Allen was viewed then. Now fast forward another 7 years and look at how Keenan Allen is viewed in that locker room now. It's just, he is the GOAT and he has earned it. And it is, it was just such a cool moment, just as the cherry on top for a hard-fought victory for the Chargers, just to add that little bit in. Like, it didn't get done early in the game when you thought that it could have on a drive that Justin Herbert would normally put together. No, it was after the game was already fully secure. You think you're going to run out the clock and get into victory formation. Nope. We got one more thing to do. We got to get Slayer the record tonight. And that was awesome.
He got like 9 yards on that thing. I don't think I've ever seen Keenan do a route like that.
I mean, hey, look, I'm not pointing fingers, but I know I get pissed off a lot when the Chargers do some of those end-around reverses, whether it's with Darius Davis or Johnson. Keenan's was the most – Keenan's was like the most positive out of any of those.
Maybe they should just take out Darius and put Keenan for all these, apparently. Stoda – I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I'm sure. Stodakine, I don't know. I was surprised how well we shut down the Steelers. Definitely the best showing of our team in years. My section is mainly Chargers loyal. We were all hoarse after the game. Jake, I said earlier, to me, this was the biggest and most impressive Chargers victory in the Harbaugh era. Agree or disagree?
I don't know if I'll say biggest. It just felt different. It felt old school. It reminded me a little bit of the Atlanta game last year when your defense really had to go to bat for you, when your offense wasn't working for you, that you had seen most of that season. And again, coming into this game, Justin Herbert, who led the league in passing, I think was second coming into this week in touchdowns. He had a streak going of 3 straight games with multiple touchdowns. And it wasn't easy. It was not easy. But this is what football is about, and this is why it's a team sport. And when you have one unit specifically that's not going to do their best, you need another one to pick you up. Hell, look at how the Denver Broncos have won their games for the span of the last 3 weeks. Offensively, if it wasn't for some fourth quarter big-time plays, it's their defense that's kept them in those games. They're just waiting for their offense to catch up. But sometimes you have moments like this where it's your offense that's not going to pick you up, or your defense that's not going to pick you up, and the other side has to take responsibility for it. Hell, go back to the Miami Dolphins game. The Chargers surrendering 28 points, and it took Justin Herbert in 49 seconds to lead a game-winning drive to win that game by 1. And that's just what happens sometimes. So it's not always going to be flawless. And to be perfectly honest with you, we've talked so much about Justin Herbert having to put on the Superman cape. You didn't get it from your offensive line. You didn't necessarily get it from your wide receivers outside of Ladd McConkey. You got it on the opposite side of the ball, who just kept giving Justin Herbert opportunities to make a play. And eventually he did.
It was absolutely unbelievable. It was literally unbelievable. I mean, to see how that Chargers defense started cooking and just didn't stop. This is the series they had. 3 plays, 6 yards, punt. 4 plays, 5 yards, massive or long field goal. 3 plays, -6 yards, punt. Again, this is the Chargers defense I'm talking. 9 plays, 52 yards, missed field goal. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 2 plays, interception. 3 plays, 8 yards. 4 plays, 19 yards, punt. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 8 plays, 45 yards, turnover on downs. 2 plays, 10 yards, punt. Then the game the touchdown in garbage time. That was it. That was it. A Thier, $5 donation. Jake, my baby Minter will not leave until the Chargers win the Super Bowl. He did it in Michigan and will do it for the Chargers. And I don't love Dan anymore.
Just had to throw that little bit in there, didn't you?
Thier, I love you too, my baby, but I ain't throwing stones from glass houses if I were you. You know how many voicemails that you've called in about wanting to fire Joe Ortiz? There's a lot of stuff you've talked about that I'm sure you're going to backpedal here in a little bit too. That's okay. I'll take it on the chin. Like I said, I did not expect that Chargers team to do that, and I will stand on that. Anyone who did is a liar or is doing drugs, either legal or illegally.
I'm curious, Dan, because I know last show when we were making predictions for this, and again, the hopium's real. Okay, this is not like some fascination or some outlandish thought. The Chargers have had offensive line problems. We know since before the season started. During the first 2 weeks of the season, it was actually a very good staple for you when it was healthy. You've essentially had offensive line problems since week 4. This isn't something new. This isn't something that's just like out of nowhere. But most of the time, this Chargers team, how we say, is going to go by what Justin Herbert does. It's only going to go by what Justin Herbert does if he's got time. So, again, I don't consider it outlandish, but Dan, my question to you is, did yesterday's victory do anything to possibly change your future predictions as it relates to the games to come?
Maybe. And it's not because of anything that changed on the offensive line. Like that still is
still an issue.
Still a problem. It is still a major problem.
We still don't even know what Trevor Penning's going to be.
I mean, who would have thought we're sitting here waiting and crossing fingers that Bobby Hart can come back?
I am.
Like, who are we?
I'll take whatever win I can get.
But for you to be able to do that on defense against a good team, against a physical team, against a well-coached team that's got studs, like that was different. And that we have not seen. Those are the games you don't win as typical Chargers. Folks in the comments, Deshaun Hand, huge impact.
Man, was it great timing to get him back off the IR.
Denzel Perryman back.
Oh my God.
He came with a vengeance.
Somebody pissed in Denzel Perryman's Cheerios just before the beginning of that game. Not one, but 2 massive hits that he had on Jalen Warren.
The defensive front was so good. And dare I say dominant? Now, there were a couple Jalen Warren leaks. I'll give you that. But all things considered, in my opinion, I'm going back. Let's see. Jalen Warren, 14 carries, 70 yards. Okay.
I mean, stat-wise, it's pretty pedestrian. But I'll tell you what, you watch that game live and you happen to be on Twitter scrolling at the same time, and every Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and even I was wondering the exact same thing, every time they didn't hand it to Jalen Warren, something would go wrong for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I just didn't get it because he was gapping one way or another, whether it was through a run up the middle or they had him on a screen. Obviously, the amazing hurdle that he had at one point in that game. And you're just thinking to yourself, why would they not give it to this guy? Why are they not leaning on the run game? Which is what I actually thought that they were going to do from the jump, given the fact that the Chargers have been susceptible against explosive running backs. And they never got in the swing of that. And then by the time that they did, it was too late.
I mean, there's folks in the chat talking about a bunch of dudes. We got Perriman thumpers and the hit sticks, Khalil Mack, Denzel Perriman again, Deshaun Hand, Thule, massive, Odafe Owe, massive. Dan Henley's still doing Dan Henley things. The secondary
Nico.
The secondary was awesome, and that is where we'll go next here, Jake. We're going to talk about unsung heroes. But first, Jake, wait, do you even have your ad read stuff ready?
No, because I'm on a completely different computer. So I'd love to talk to you about Sleeper and how you can win up to 1,000 times your cash by betting on it, with players like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. And I wish I could tell you that you could win up to 1,000 times your cash by making a $100 bet and possibly using the Chargers promo code Chargers LAFB in 25 states. Sign up with Sleeper today. But unfortunately, that's about as much as I can remember ad lib without seeing the actual verbiage.
Get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Go to Sleeper. Go make some money. Jake, let's get a couple of voicemails here, back to back, and then we'll go to the unsung heroes of this football game.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Jake. This is Michael calling you direct from the MO Football Network here in Missouri, deep in the heart of Chiefs land.
Oh, good on you, sir.
All right. I like how you call it
Tonight,
the MO Football Network.
I love that.
Just wanted to say, how about them Chargers taking it to the Pittsburgh Steelers? I told you guys earlier, I had a strange optimism going on inside of my gut, and here it is. So I just hope I keep feeling this way. I don't know. We're still fighting the Harbaugh effect, and the line didn't look super terrible tonight. What about that? Anyway, guys, hope you're having a good night. It's a good night for everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.
The line did look super terrible. I feel like it did.
To start the game, it really did.
Yep.
And especially in the second quarter, it did. Yeah, up until the last drive.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Dan, just you give Justin Herbert enough opportunities, and he's going to figure it out. You know, he had that long scamper for, I think it was 16 yards throughout it. The Ladd McConkey play, which I highlighted on Twitter, was so good. It was early on. It was probably in the middle of the second quarter. It was a 2nd and 15 play, and the formation lineup with Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen right next to one another. And Ladd McConkey just picks on Eccles with just a stutter step, cut inside. There's the bullet from Justin Herbert, and he gets 16 yards and converts on the first down. And then Greg Roman's like, ooh, I like that one. That picked up a nice chunk of yardage. And in that final play, or the final drive of the first half, it's the same formation. Ladd McConkey and Keenan right next to one another. Quinn's on the opposite side, just running a simple go route. You have Tucker Fisk where Aronde Gaston was before, just as the tight end to clear out. And it's the same damn thing. Eccles is lining up again against Ladd McConkey again. Stutter step, cut inside. There's the bullet again from Justin Herbert, and touchdown Chargers. I got to say, there were spurts in this game where I thought that Greg Roman was calling the right type of game.
Yeah, second half for the most part. Like, thank you.
There were plenty of times, and again, I wish that this is what we would have seen for a majority of it, but Justin Herbert getting the ball out quick. It was ball gets into his hands, it's gone. It was on Quentin in the flat. It was Kamani Vidal in the flat, whatever it was. And then once you saw the running game start to work, to his credit, he didn't go away from it. He kept it moving. And to Kamani Vidal's credit, he was making things happen, especially in inside runs.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, you saw kind of a similar game plan, at least in theory, wanted for those Chargers offense and the Steelers defense and Steelers offense. But you saw what happens when you have playmakers who can get open quickly. The Steelers defensive front was trying to feast on that offensive line for the Chargers. Chargers defensive line was trying to feast on the offensive line for the Steelers. Chargers had the better quarterback. Chargers had the better weapons and the better defense. So, I mean, it was incredible. Voicemail, Jake. Let's get some of these. Got about 7 minutes left here, so let's try to ride this thing through.
Jake, Dan, Fort Collins, Bolt. Man, Bolt the F up. Defense, man, that defensive line tonight, unbelievable pressure on Frogers. Loved it. Hopefully Gadsden's okay.
Gadsden is okay. Looks like it's a contusion. Thankfully, we heard the news from Adam Schefter today, day to day. Probably the best possible scenario.
McConkey with some huge clutch catches, and Herbert just, he's got to have the cape on the whole time. The line, anyways, just, hey, W,
yeah.
W, and again, the defense just balled out, especially the secondary, too. They took Metcalf out of the game by the end of the first quarter, I should say. So,
3 for 35, DK Metcalf.
So glad we didn't get that guy. What a give up. So, anyways, keep getting healthy. Hopefully we'll get Hampton back here in the next couple of weeks and the line will gel a little bit more, but great W.
Interesting that we've had 2 straight callers, one call from Missouri and one call from Fort Collins, Colorado, from enemy territory, seemingly, with the Broncos and the Chiefs. Hilarious. Maybe somebody that we didn't talk about so much as far as unsung hero goes in that secondary. Cam Hart, who was all over DK Metcalf for a majority of that game. RJ Mickens obviously coming up with a huge interception. And undrafted free agent Nico Reed with as good of a pass breakup as you'll see on film.
Important.
If there was any throw to Aaron Rodgers that was actually good yesterday, that was it. But Nico Reed said, not today, sir. Nope, not. I'm covering him.
Derwin, Elijah Molden. I mean, the list goes on. And that was a defense without Tarheeb Still, without Tony Jefferson. You had RJ Mickens in there. RJ Pickens, I saw. Absolutely love that nickname, by the way, on Twitter. Next voicemail.
Someone
Jake and
dialed
Dan,
the Chargers.
I don't know if you understand this reference, but it's SpongeBob right now singing a little.
That's what that is.
Sweet, sweet victory, and it feels really good right now. All I got to say right now is that I did not think we were going to win that one, but I'm very, 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 very proud of our Chargers. There's a lot of notes that I got, but fuck them. Sweet victory, yeah.
I got some notes.
Wow. Next one. We got 4 minutes, folks. We're trying to rapid fire through the end of this.
What's up, guys? Sorry I messed up the first voicemail. This is Manny out in Denver. Decisive win. The defense only let up one garbage time touchdown. The defensive tackles and the special teams being helped from everybody coming back from IR. Josh Harris, long snapper,
forgot about that. Yep, big
coming
one.
back. Dicker unfortunately missed that doink. But overall, great win. Hell, Trey Pipkins was winning most of his reps against Watt, so let's go.
I would call that.
Give the boy his props. Love you guys, full top.
I mean, it's after you got past the Cameron Dicker opening kickoff out of bounds and then J.K. Scott just totally pooching on the punt, you're just like, what else could go wrong with the special teams right now? But then after that, you finally started getting in a good rhythm in terms of coverage. I thought that the coverage unit was, maybe aside from one, was better than what we have seen through the last recent weeks.
Man, I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that Chargers team did that. Like, who would have saw that coming? I mean, again, not me. Not me. Last voicemail, Jake.
Dan, Jake.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, Jake. I love you, my baby. Thank you for being on my side. Now, Dan, this is what I have come to realize. I watched the show on Sunday morning, okay? You are 100% a fake Chargers fan. All the year, when we had Staley, you worshiped him like Jesus. You worship Staley trash ass like Jesus. You worship him. And then now we have this coach. You talking about 10-7. You talking about we're going to lose to Pittsburgh.
Because it's the coach.
Come on, Dan. You are a fake fan. You do not believe in my coach. You do not believe in my team. Thank you very much. You are a Raiders fan or a Broncos fan. Thank you, brother. Thank you for not being with us.
Oh, man, he just really had to twist the knife at the end of that, didn't he? I don't know if there's any greater insult that you could give someone of an NFL franchise that they're a pseudo-Raider fan. That's harsh. He really took the gloves off with you on that one.
I honestly just want to leave that one on red.
Maybe you should have.
I'm gonna let that simmer for a bit. I'm gonna let that simmer.
Take a breath.
No, I'm honestly, I'm not even a little bit upset. It's entertaining, honestly. Genuinely, it's entertaining, but I want to formulate the appropriate response without being too mean. So I'm going to restrain myself here. But Athir, I love you, Athir. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. And look, I understand the emotions are high. I get it. And I understand you don't want this Chargers team to fail. I get it. Just be careful. Be careful, Athir. But it's all good. Love you, baby. It's all good. Jake, Chargers go out and did that thing. Quentin Johnson with the hezzy. Did you see that move, by the way?
Man.
That felt good. I know he had some drops. I get it, but damn.
So did Ladd. So did Rondé Gadsden in those first couple of drives. But, oh, my God, was this stiff arm awesome.
And then the shake
that
afterwards.
Play looked like it was going nowhere or was going to be for minimal yards by the time that he caught it. And then he delivers go back to your seat, stiff arm. And then he comes up with a nice little juke at the end of that run to cut it back inside before he's ultimately tackled down. That was a great catch and run by Quentin Johnston.
Chargers win 25-10. 25-3. I'm going to keep it. Improved to 7-3. Jacksonville on deck before the bye. Much needed bye. Hopefully this team can stay or get healthier. Jake, anything else before we jump on out of here? Victory Monday feels good. Does this feel good, man? I cannot believe the Chargers team did that.
Victory Monday feels good. I once again apologize for my technical difficulties. I wish I could have been on here for the duration of the show. So apologies on my part. Hopefully you guys weren't too rude to Dan while he was hosting the show by himself, because I know, again, emotions are high. Some people fling some mud in certain areas when it's just one person on the show. And honestly, that's why Dan's better than me, because that's why I haven't done a live show by myself before. But we'll see if that changes in the future. But again, apologies on my end, technical difficulties. We'll make sure that I'm better next time around.
It is all good. Chargers fans, smoking that Steelers pack, enjoying the sweet, sweet taste of victory, the brisket, the beers, whatever you want. Chargers are feeling great after this. Get healthy, get ready. Massive game coming up. 8-3 on the horizon. We'll see. But until then, we'll talk to you on the next Chargers on League. For Jake, I'm Dan. LAFB, we out. Appreciate y'all.